so unaffected or without any how can I say, any moral compass about whether or not they lie or not, right? Good. So reading on. Good. Let's jump down to Leviticus 19 and 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Right. And so this is one of the big stories that was in Shaham Shum, their social media site out here. It's like their version of Instagram. Out in the rural parts of China, you rarely see it in the tier 1 cities, although it does bleed over from time to time. Is that these companies, because they've dealt wrongly and had done bad business, what they'll do is they will withhold paying their employees and kick the can down the road, so to speak. Like, oh, hey, we'll pay you next month, or you work for 6 months and we'll give you all your money at the end. And what ends up happening is the CEOs of these companies or the owners of these businesses or whatever, during that 6 months, what they'll end up doing is moving little by little all of their money to an offshore bank account, usually for like the Hong Kong or Macau or something like that, or the Vietnam or Laos or Cambodia. They slowly move all their money out of their accounts, and what they'll do is right before their company closes or right before it's time for them to pay, they'll flee the country, right? They'll flee the country with all the money of these people, right? And so these people would have built up their company for free, basically slave labor. These people would have built up the value of this company, having worked 6 months for free, and they can't do anything about it. Right? They go to the government, and the government launches an investigation, which usually comes to naught. Right? There's no way to get your money back or whatever like that, or the government sees it as such a big problem, and that the people will get over it. And it's and this idea of saving face. Right? So they try to just brush it under the rug, so that way it doesn't become an international scandal. But most people know how Moab, they treat their citizens when it comes to paying a fair wage. They're not paying them at all. Right? And so because of that, the defrauding is gonna be a how can I say? It's gonna be to the destruction to a lot of people out here. Right, the way they treat each other. Right? They're only motivated by money, and because they're only motivated by money, they're basically soulless. Right? And so they don't have a moral compass, or they don't have that thing in their mind that tells them that, like, hey, I did wrong. What they end up doing, more than even Amalekites, what they do more than anything is they always try to find an excuse for why they didn't do something right, or why they never take responsibility for their actions. Right? You can have them dead to rights, red-handed, and they'll always try to find an excuse for why what they did is not wrong. Right? These are people that hate to be called out on bullshit. Right? And again, it comes down to that idea of saving face. Right? Good. Let's go to Habakkuk 2 and 6. Here we go. Habakkuk 2 and 6. woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Right, so a lot of the labor that builds the value of many of these companies out here in the kingdom of Moab, that doesn't belong to the CEO, right? Yeah, they built the company, they had the idea, and then they hired the workers or whatever. Yeah, of course, but then you're supposed to be fair with the people that help build up the value of your company. There was a big scandal out here, out in Schwebe, where the gold market, right, the precious metal market is at. People had bought IOUs of silver and gold at different traders or whatever like that. And what happened was there was a gold run and a silver run earlier this year. And so when the price of silver and gold went up, these people went back to the traders and went to cash in, because even I had bought a lot of silver, and the silver in one night it tripled in price. And so what I did was I went and I traded in some of my silver or whatever, and I was happy because the trader that I was dealing with, he was upright in his dealing, and I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy the silver from him. I bought it from a different dealer, but I was able to trade with him. But there were a lot of companies, a lot of trade companies where there were a lot of trade companies that went under during that time. And what they did was exactly how I explained to you before, is that when all these people came in to try to sell and get their money back, to trade in their IOUs to get their silver or to get their money, there was no money in the pot, right? There was no money in the treasury, right? And that's why whenever you do stuff like that, see, like, the problem with Moab is that they have a very trusting nature, right? And it's very easy. And part of it is because they're very friendly people and very passive. And so they try to believe in the good of people, right? And so that gets them into a lot of trouble. And so what they believed was, oh, hey, well, I got this promissory note that when it's time for me to trade in and get money for the silver that I bought, I'll be able to just come back and get the money for it, right? Just trade it back. And because they had a piece of paper and not physical silver, a lot of them lost so much money. And what many of these traders did in Trebe is they moved their money in offshore accounts, right? And then again, like they did, like many companies do, they fled the country, right? They usually go to Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Philippines, or whatever like that, right? Never to be seen again, living lavishly. Good. Let's keep reading on. What is this, 2 and 6? Good, yes, and ladeth himself with thick clay. Yeah, one of the things that Moab does is, because of this culture of saving face, right, not looking bad in front of your friends and family, and the tradition being that to get married, a man needs to have a house and a car. What many of them do, they will leverage their credit cards, right, and take out these exorbitant loans just to marry a woman who, as soon as you sign that paper, their whole attitude about life changes and how they feel about you changes. They become more disagreeable, right? They bring less peace to the house. Every time you turn around, it's a nag about something, right? After you done signed the dotted line to get married, and then also taking out the loan, right? So now you're in deep to pay off the loan, and what they'll do is, what a lot of these Moabite women will do is, then they will cause so much friction within the relationship that it forces you to want to get a divorce. And now what ends up happening to the man? Now he has to pay on a mortgage in a house that he can't even stay in, right? Where the woman gets to live there for free, her and her children or whatever. They take because of the law, they take full advantage of the men. But you know, they changed the law out here recently, and the law doesn't specify man or woman. It says whoever makes the most money in the household is the one who will get the property if you get a divorce. And that caused many women to rethink their strategy on how to come up in the city of Moab. Because what a lot of these women will do is they don't care about a man being ugly. They don't care about him being short, fat, not her type or whatever. If he proves with the ability to have to finance the lifestyle that she wants, she'll take the man who has money and have an affair with him, with another man, a man that excites her on the side, right? That goes on a high level, a high level out here in the land of Moab. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of and we already know how Jake gets down. You would assume that a lot of these Moabite women on the surface, they love white men or whatever, but a lot of these wives, they have affairs with young black men. A lot of these wives, a lot of these Moabite wives, they have secret affairs with young black men, right? And that's a secret that most people don't know, and it'll be, you wouldn't even expect it. Some of these women that pull this stunt, you wouldn't even expect it, especially considering how the culture of Moab, how they on the surface tend to be a little racist towards and have prejudice against black people, right? You wouldn't even expect that to be going on. But yeah, that's one of the best kept secrets out here in the land of Moab. But reading on, not to get too long-winded. Salakia, brothers, pardon me. Yeah, and so because of this idea of saving face, the men, they'll take out loans that automatically put them into debt. Now, you know, when you get married, that's supposed to be one of the happiest times of your life, right? You're starting your life with the woman that you love, the woman of your dreams or whatever like that. You're not supposed to be going into debt over that, right? Just to keep up with the Joneses, just because you fear what everybody else would say about you. But a lot of them, they do that. Like I said, they leverage their credit cards to the hilt, and they go into thick debt, trying to appease their friends and family members, worried about what they'll think of them. And the government as well. The government does that as well, because out here in the East, how can I say, industry, captains of industry, they are not controlled. They're not private. It's not private property, or it's not private. It's not a private industry, right? You don't, like in the West, you have the public and private sector, right? Everything is public here. Everything is public. Everything has to run through the government, right? And so it's government. It's the government receiving kickbacks from the people who own these corporations, and everybody being greedy, which has caused everybody to go into debt. Because now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right?